Hi, my name is Bovi and I am an entertainer. I'm from Delta State. I have 2 elder sisters, 2 half sisters, and I have 4 brothers. You know, this is Africa, so we are spread like Abraham's seed. I was very timid and I was very shy growing up, you know, and I grew up amongst women. Then I grew up amongst people who fit into the system, so there were limitations. You were not allowed to dream beyond a certain measure. Between 2004 and 2006, I worked with RMD. That was when I got to meet most of the comedians because we were doing the Made in Warri concert, but I was a backroom staff. Immediately after that, by 2007, I resigned in 2006. So by 2007, I did my first sitcom on TV, which is Extended Family. Now that threw me out, and that was orchestrated, you know. I saw that breaking into comedy, because there was no structure basically. There were no nightclubs, there were no comedy clubs rather for us to express ourselves, you know. So getting in was difficult. So I'm like, okay, sell yourself on TV. If people appreciate you on TV, getting into stage will not be difficult. That's exactly what I did. So I would say I went professional as a stand-up comedian in 2008, which was actually the first time I started to do commercial shows. It was like this, because I was already a brand name on TV as a comic actor. Diamond Bank had a commercial to do through their agency, and the agency felt Bovi was the best person to portray the character they wanted to portray. And they called me to the table and said, look, how much will you charge to do this? And I'm like, okay, this is how much I will charge. And they're like, okay, we can't pay this, we can pay this. And I'm like, okay, I can't take this, I can take this, you know? And they're like, okay, because we believe in your brand and the following you have and the impact you're having in society, let's work together. So me doing the commercials for Diamond Bank, I consider it more as a privilege, because like it or not, they would have gone ahead and done their stuff anyway. I consider it as a privilege, you know. And I've done 2 commercials actually. That's to show you that it worked the first time. So the second one, the money was good, but say brand ambassador, no, I'm not. My relationship with Glo dates back. It's one of the earliest actually with any brand, you know. Let's just say the money I make from the likes of Glo and Diamond Bank is better than getting an endorsement deal, you know, because it's flowing, it's fluent, it's current, it's current. So in the long run, it's like in the long run, it pays more to do what I'm doing than to just be, you know, say, okay, I'm a brand ambassador, yeah. The very first contact with basketball was when I was working with RMD, when we were doing Made in Warri. He was hired to be on one of the shows, you know. We're not friends. I was just like, hey, hi, how you doing? And he's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, see, we put you on the brochure, you know. And he looked at you and he's like, I don't like that picture. You know, so I was like, whoa, this guy is harsh, man. It wasn't really a good picture. It was part of the tricks, and as I learned in the business, you know, you need to get an artist's best photograph to make them look their best. You know, he wasn't even looking at the camera in the picture. He was like looking somewhere else, and we cropped it off. You know, but then the internet was just beginning to take its foot on ground in Nigeria, so we really didn't know where to go fetch pictures from. That was the first meeting. The second meeting, I can't remember what the second or third meeting was like, but in 2007 when I was shooting my sitcom, the first season I had an episode that had him featuring as himself, but I didn't have the courage to meet him. So by the 3rd season, I went to him and he was like, okay, no problem. In fact, I spoke on phone. He was like, no problem. By then we had met once again through another program. He was like, no problem, man, I'll do it for you. I'm like, okay, call time is 5 o'clock. He said, yeah, I'll be there. Everybody had been late to my set. He was there at 4:30 and said, I'm already here, where are you? You said you sent someone to pick me up. So we started to rush and get ready. And he came on my set and he did it for me. I think that was where we struck a bond. That was December 2007, if I remember correctly. No, yeah, December 2007. So by 2008, when I went on stage, I was doing Night of 1,000 Laughs in Abuja. I think it was May 1st, and he was the MC. So I was performing. After my performance, he came and said, I didn't hear what you said, but I noticed the audience was laughing. I think we should work together.
Since yesterday, I don't vow, say I'm not going to follow musician waka. Because I tell them before now, for airport as we land, see some fine chicks. They all look my side. I come. They come, they run, they come. I can't spread. I don't know say banky dey my back. You know, so they turn me to photographer. Come, please, snap. You know, so banky come dey sorry for me, say it's Bovi. They say we know now. So just you know.
And that's how he started to give me shows here. He started to recommend me here and there and all, you know. And his father's death brought us closer, you know. The day his dad died, he called me and we were gisting and all that. I would find out later that his father died that day. So I called him the next day and said, why didn't you tell me? He was like, he needed to take his mind away from it, that he was driving to the hospital, to the morgue actually, when they told him his father had died and shifted to the morgue. And that he didn't want to think about it. He needed to talk to someone who could help him take his mind away from it. And that's how we just started getting close, you know, and all that. As friends, we're very close, we're like brothers now, but it started from a working relationship. We saw similarities in what we do, and he was the one I actually studied when I was like, I need to go into stand-up comedy. In 2005, I'm like, this guy, I think I'm like this guy on stage, you know? So I started to study his nuances, his approach. He taught me many of the tricks involved. Many of the tricks involved in entertainment. You know, it goes beyond being funny. You know, there are tricks to being a stand-up comedian, the techniques and all that. To a large extent, he taught me most of them. You know, many of them rather. And like he always used to say, like I tell to the younger ones, you really can't back somebody as a comedian. He was like, hey, Bovi, there's this show, I need you to help me standing, or there's this show, I recommended you, you know. I'm like, okay, how much are they paying? And he tells me, and he's like, these people didn't want, you know. In fact, he didn't used to tell me until after I've delivered, because he was scared that if he tells me before the show, I may develop butterflies, you know, and feel down and all that, which wasn't far from the truth anyway, because I'm like, look, if they don't want, let them forget. I don't want to walk on the edge. Let me be myself and do my thing, you know. So he always used to tell clients that you should try this guy out, you will see. And I never disappointed. So it boils down to me, it boils down to the artist when it comes to stand-up comedy. It's like football. You say you can play, take the ball, play, let us see. If you can play, you'll make the team. If you can't, you won't make the team. They say iron sharpeneth iron. There are so many people who love Basket Mouth for what he does. His work speaks for him. My work speaks for me. The people who hire us together. And for projects we have done together, Basket Mouth has done more projects than me. He calls me on to join his projects because when we work together, the result is awesome. The product is rich. The few projects I've done, I called him, is rich. So why change a winning team? Like I said, iron sharpeneth iron, and he doesn't cheat me, neither do I cheat him. You understand? People tend to want to say, oh, there's an alliance here, because if Basketman was doing well on his own and I was doing well on my own and he wasn't my friend, people would tend to come up with a story and say they are not getting along. It's like the Beyonce and Rihanna's, it's like the Omotola and Genevieve, you know, that kind of thing. That's where such things, they just try to be sensational. The shows we do most of the time is because clients have recognized our power as individuals and our synergy when we work together. When we work together, 50% of it is scripted, 70% of it is not scripted. So you see, I said 50-70, that's 120, because we try to give it our all. And we understand each other even without talking. Even when we're not entertaining people, when we choose to like gossip, he can be at that end of the room and be talking to me here. I will understand exactly what he's saying, and vice versa, you know, it's like that. We just have that, that bond that works for us. My first million check for an event was a private show. That was 2011. It's really not the money, you know, that's the currency. It's really not the money. So, you know, I didn't dwell on it. I didn't look at it like, yes, it was exciting that, okay, now 6 digits, I've crossed this barrier. But after that, I still did shows that were less than $1 million. It's not like once I did it, it became a yardstick. I still do shows less than $1 million till tomorrow. I do shows for free, so you know. Hi, my name is Bovi, and I am an entertainer. And I want to use this medium to urge you to always visit www.soarnaija.com. That's SOARNAIJA.com. If you want to be successful and you don't know how to go about it, this may just be the first and the right stop you should make. www.soarnaija.com.